How's everyone doing? Thanks for joining me on my small engine repair channel. Today's video is going to be a slightly different one than the normal repair video. Today I'm going to call triage day. As you can see, this is just my home garage and it's where I work out of, and I have about 11 mowers I think in here, and I actually even have a snowblower in here. That's a customer machine. The rest of these machines I own, either freebies or I paid small amounts for them. And we're going to go through today and try and figure out what each and every one of them needs. Just a quick run through on each one and see if they're worth fixing or parting out. Alright guys and girls, this first machine we're going to look at is actually a finished machine. This is a MTD deck with a Tecumseh engine on it. I went through that one and it needed a few things, a new cable, and then just did my whole refurbishment on this one. So this one's ready to go for this weekend. I usually post them on the weekends to get maximum exposure. So I guess we'll start with this one next. This one came to me in a bundle of 3. This guy, and then this one back here, this little MTD, and then this older, I don't know if that's a Craftsman or what that, it says recycling mulcher, I don't know. It's got an older Briggs, that's an old machine. Anyways, those 3 came together. So we're going to take a look at this one first. It does come with a bagger, so that's kind of nice. It's got a Briggs Quantum engine on it, 6.75 foot-pounds of torque, so I don't know, 5.5, 6 horsepower. It came like this. It looks like it's missing a couple of top screws to hold this top cover on, which is fine. And then the bigger, obviously, issues with this thing, as you can see just visually, it's completely missing the air filter housing, and they've for some reason or another got this choke system actually rigged up in the open position. All right, so I obviously have to take this off and get into here, figure out why they've got that tie wrapped in the open position. I do have these air filter assemblies, so if that's the only issue, then we'll be able to probably get this one back out in service. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to try and figure out is this thing going to run at all? So I always check fuel, see if it has any fuel left in it. It does have a little bit. Give it a bit of a smell. It smells kind of fresh, actually. Then I always check the oil. You can tell a lot by the maintenance and upkeep of a machine based on looking at the oil. This has definitely not been changed in a couple of years, but it has some oil in it, so alright, that's good. And then I'll just take a quick peek under the underside to make sure it's not missing a blade. The blade is there. It doesn't look to be bent or dinged up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it the way it was when I got it, because they had it like this for a reason, for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm going to spray some quick start in here in the carburetor, and we're going to give it a pull and see if it'll fire up for us. Alright, so it fired up. with a few pulls, and it actually stayed running. So this carburetor is probably actually not in too bad a shape. But I'll obviously have to address this guy here. Put some screws in here, get the air filter hat for it. And then the other thing I did notice as well is when I tried to pull this cable, it basically pull it out the holder here. So that means this cable is a little bit on the stiff side. I could probably just spray some lubrication in each end of the cable, and then wrap some electrical tape around this, and that should take care of that. I'm not sure why they got this piece of PVC or ABS pipe on here, but so that one looks like it's going to be a runner and a salvageable one. I'm just going to take down some notes, and we're going to move on to the next one. Alright guys, so this next one is another one that came in with that last one. It's this older, yeah, I don't even know, oh, it's a snapper with the Briggs engine, and date code on it shows it's from 1992. So this thing's missing quite a few parts as well. Again, another air filter cover. I don't actually have one of those, and it's got a whole bunch of stuff here going on. I don't know what's going on here for the brake cable assembly. It's completely missing a brake cable and a handle up at the top here. So this one, based on its age and whatnot, although it's nice and it rolls nice, I think this one's just going to be a part out, and I'll just donate the deck to a scrap metal guy or see if anyone needs it. So that was just a quick assessment on this one, and time to move on to the next one. Alright, so this is the third of the three I got yesterday from a guy with the previous two. This one's in pretty rough shape as well. The deck seems to be in okay shape, but just a cheapo MTD deck with this Tecumseh engine on it. This carburetor looks like, I'm not sure, it doesn't even look like it's the right carburetor because it's kind of missing the, there should be a hose that goes here for the breather back into the carburetor, and also it's got an adjustable jet here on the bottom. This looks more like it's off of a snowblower or something. So, and then they've got the spring rigged up here. That's completely wrong. This whole setup is all just gimmicky. This is not in the right spot. It should be over here in one of those holes. There should be a spring that goes from this arm all the way over here. So I do have a carburetor set up for this, so I might go with that. This hose is not the right diameter hose. Again, looks like more of a primer line off a snowblower or something. So this was just rigged up, and the engine itself looks like it's in decent shape. Doesn't have a lot of like dirt and stuff, but I can't even really test this guy. Once again, I don't know. This guy's got, I guess he's using this ABS pipe to actually hold the handle down while he's mowing it, just to keep it running, I guess. I don't know. Looks like he maybe slides this down. I've never seen this, but I don't know if he slides this down. I don't know how he disengages it, or maybe on the other side over here, I guess. So that disengages it. The cable looks like it's still okay. It's still moving the other end, so that might be salvageable. So this one might be salvageable, guys. I do have all these parts here. Mostly this seems to be messed up, and then this starter recoil looks like it's completely jammed up or something. Like the whole rope is actually not recoiling at all. But again, I have part for that to be able to swap that out. So This might be a refurbishment, but again, this has so much wrong with it. It's only probably going to be worth 80 bucks in the end because of this cheapo deck. I might just wait until the end, and that might be a sort of a last case scenario. I like to try and sell the stuff that might be worth a little more first. Alright, so this next one came in a group of 2 with this Ariens mower over here. This one looks like it's in really nice shape. Bagger, Remington brand, so it's kind of a cheaper brand. It's got one of these 550E series Briggs and Stratton with the plastic carb on it. But it looks like it's in really decent shape. Can't be any more than a couple years old, I would think. So let's see why someone was willing to throw this one away to the curb. So we'll see if it's got any fuel first. Full tank of fuel. Let me just give it a quick smell. It smells fairly fresh. It's not last year's gas. So I don't know, were they using it this year and it's just not working for them, or I don't know what the deal is here. Check the oil. Oh, okay. This thing is missing the dipstick part that goes to this cap. There should be a metal dipstick to stick down and in here and check the level of the oil, and that is completely missing. So okay, that's one issue anyways. So we'll see if I can't find a dipstick for that. Continuing to look around. I think what I'm going to do is just try and start this thing and see why it is somebody threw it away. So I'll take the air. Oh, it's missing an air filter. Okay, there should be a foam air filter in here. So I want to see if the primer system is working on this thing. Unfortunately, I don't think you guys are going to be able to see this, but I'm looking right in the air intake here. Oh, right there, you can see that sort of copper colored, brass colored jet right there. So that's where I'll be looking. Unfortunately, I can't do this because I need 3 hands, but I don't have 3. So I'm going to just push on this primer bulb and see if any fuel comes out of there. And I don't see any fuel coming out of there. No, so the primer bulb's not working. Now the primer bulb looks brand new, so I don't know if the primer bulb itself is busted, it's not installed correctly, or maybe just the carburetor's so gummed up that it won't let fuel pass through there. I'll spray some quick start fluid in there and see if we can't get this thing to fire up for us. Just take a quick look on the inside to make sure it's got a blade. Nothing's bent, all the crap. So that looks okay, looks like it's in good shape. Alright. Well, that's promising. It started and then stopped. So this one, I believe, is just going to be a carburetor clean with a new air filter, which I have. So, and then once this thing's cleaned up, it's going to look brand new. This is going to be probably $160 to $180 for a carb clean. So, which I charge 40 bucks for. So, all right, so moving on. All right, the next one is an Ariens. It's got a Kohler, probably XT7, XT6 with the Harley Davidson decal on it there. Let's see, we got any fuel in this guy? Oh, hard to tell. These, yeah, they put these, I don't know, these cap things in here. And they're not the easiest things to get out. But, yeah, I don't see any. Yeah, there's zero fuel in this one right here, which is not always a bad sign. Okay. Let's see about the oil. It's got some oil in there. All right, now let's get in here where the carb and the air filter is. All right, so that air filter actually looks in pretty decent shape. It's got a pre-filter in it as well. Okay, so the choke butterfly valve is, you can see there, it is closed, which is where it should be when it's cold. So everything's looking fairly promising here. One thing, big problem I noticed though, let's take a look at the rope. Alright, so the rope's busted off, so I wonder if that's why they got rid of this thing. Let me just check the cable here. Okay, that seems to be doing its job just fine. Alright, so I'm really kind of curious to see if this thing will run. So I'm going to try and rig up a cable or a pull cord here real quick. See if we can get this thing to fire up. Alright, so I got the starter recoil off, and yeah, this thing, the spring is either come loose or it's busted right off because it has zero spring on it. So what I'm going to do is just wrap a cord around here a bunch of times, and then I'll pull it just using that, and we'll see if we can get it to fire. Alright, so what I did was just took the old pull cord, I put a little loop knot on the end there, and I'm just going to wrap it around in a clockwise fashion until I get it to the end. And this should be enough wraps around to be able to pull it. Now the only other problem is I'm going to have to put a tie on the brake band cable here. Okay, so I got the brake cable tied. Alright, and then I'll spray some fluid in here. I'm just using a little screwdriver to kind of open the choke flap there so that I can spray some fluid in there. And let's see if she'll run. Now this might take a few pulls. I'm gonna have to wrap this a couple times to get this to actually work. Alright, so there you had it. You still have to fire it up, and then ran off of the starter fluid I put in there because there's no fluid in the tank. So not sure. I don't necessarily want to put the fuel in the tank at this point just yet. This is just triage, so it might need a carb clean as well, but definitely will need the starter fixed up, new rope put on it, and this one might be good to go. Once again, cleaned up, high wheels in the back, no bagger, but I might have a bag in the back for it. If I can find a bagger for it, it's definitely going to be 160 to 180.